Hey guys, what's up, it's Cyclone here, and welcome to episode 6 of Warframes Beginner Guide 2.0. And in this video, I don't actually have anything particular planned for it, but I want to be talking about your progression as a player. So right now in Warframe, you should understand the basics of modding and how to progress on the star chart. So I want to recap on things such as modding, so the basis of putting a mod on the matching polarity, so it halves the cost, and things like that there. So if we head on down to our arsenal, we know that we can just go ahead and equip mods onto our Warframe and weapons all willy-nilly based on the level of the weapons. Now, the more important thing that I want to be talking about in this video, modding is of course a big important part of that, but the more important thing I want to be talking about is the progression on the star charts. So if we go ahead and take a look at our navigation here, you see that I have Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. So after you kill Vor about once, you should have all of these four planets. And if you don't have these 4 planets, I recommend going back on Mercury and killing Vor again by going to the node called Tosdolch. And you'll see that you don't actually have to complete every node on a planet to unlock different planets. So what you can do is go onto a planet. For example, we'll take Venus, for example. I said example a lot. I can play Venus, and I can only go to the boss node, which I have to play this mission 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 missions, and then I can lock the planet after Venus. Now, the only way to really know what planet's next to unlock is to pretty much Google it. There is like a little chart that is on Google, which will show you the progression, so I could put that there on screen or link it in the description. I'll probably end up linking it in the description because it's just handier. It's a wiki page, you can go ahead and read it. I'll show the progression of the star chart. And upon swapping from planet to planet, you're going to encounter new enemies, and these new enemies are going to drop different mods, and also the bosses are going to drop different Warframe parts. And what I'm going to be talking about today is the Warframes that we should really be aiming for and the weapons that we should be getting. So if we take a look at our Warframes here, obviously Rhino is XP locked, but we can get him really easy. Actually, Rhino is probably one of the easier Warframes to get because it's the Warframe that you get off of Venus. Now, I don't recommend building every, well, I do recommend building every frame, but I don't recommend getting every frame straight away once you're able to. What I do recommend doing is building them in your foundry and keeping them there until you have the time and the slots to actually, pay attention to that frame. So I'll be explaining that as we go on with the beginner guide. But what I want you guys to do now is take a look in your weapon blueprint. So go into the market and then go over to the weapons tab, and now go down the primary weapons blueprints or primary blueprints, and now you can look around all these different options you have. So what we want to be looking at here is the different damage types. So after we complete Mercury, if we go onto our map here, and we take a look at Venus and Mars, okay? So we go to Venus, we have an Exterminate, but the faction is now Corpus. And a little tip that I can give you guys right here is if we go ahead and we look at the damage types, so if we look at the primary weapon, press X on it, and look at the Carrick stats, you see that it has 3 different damage types: Impact, Puncture, and Slash. So the different factions are, weaker to these different damage types. So for example, Impact does more damage to Corpus, Puncture does more damage to Grineer, and Slash does more damage to Infested. Now you may not have ran into Infested quite yet if you didn't play the Once Awake quest. You don't have to play that quest either. But Infested are like a mutant type of enemy where they're basically flesh. Puncture is good against armor, so the Grineer, and then Impact is good against shields, so the Corpus. And that is pretty much that. So what you want to be doing is early on choosing a weapon that has a high damage, damage type towards whatever faction you're playing against. So this is why I recommend picking up the Carrick. So if we pick up the Carrick for 30,000 credits, okay, that's going to give us a blueprint, and that's going to add that blueprint down into the foundry in here. So if you take a look, we have the Carrick blueprint, we also have the Cronus and Seer blueprint. This is from killing Captain Vor on Mercury, and I have an Orcan Reactor blueprint from an alert that I played, but we'll get into that in a different video. So now we can't just go ahead and build the Carrick straight away. This is how Warframe kind of gets its free-to-play model. It comes into play a little bit more. what happens is you have to go farm these resources, the resources listed on the Karak, to actually build it. And that's going to take an additional 30,000 credits on top of the credits that you paid the blueprint for. And it's also going to take 24 hours to build. So you're going to go get all these resources, pay the credits after you got all the resources, and then it's going to take 24 hours to build in your foundry. And after 24 hours has passed, you can actually claim this weapon in your foundry, and it'll be added into your equipment and an inventory, and it'll take up one of these slots right here. So we see I have actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 open slots. And what I do recommend doing now, okay, is buying the normal Bratton. Okay, so we've already got the MK1 Bratton. The normal Bratton is kind of a better version of the MK1 Bratton. So we go ahead and buy that. And now what we can do is we can go ahead and sell our normal Bratton, so, or our MK1 Bratton. So if we go back into inventory and we look at our MK1 Bratton rank 30, ensure it's rank 30 before you sell it. If it's not rank 30, don't sell it, only sell it whenever it's rank 30. We can sell that and we'll get 2,500 credits, and we actually get another slot. So there you go, that's how you clear space. So what I want you guys to do is go and level that Bratton again, as well as any other secondary weapons that you can level. So for example, again, I'm pretty sure, yep, we can buy the Lato. Go ahead and buy the Lato. And we can sell the kunai. Go onto your inventory. And killing kunai is gone. So we've sold that. And then we go back in to our arsenal. If my game would like to work. I don't know what happened. What? Equipment. Arsenal. Okay, that was a bit weird. We go back into Arsenal. And now we can actually buy the MK1 bow if we can find it. I can find it more like there it is, 15,000. And then you buy, you can go ahead and build that there. But I recommend holding on to the scanner actually, because the scanner pin, it can be used to build different weapons. So if we go into the market again, and we go to our melee blueprints, you can see we can build a Jill scanner. That doesn't actually take a scanner. What we can do is, where is it? The Redeemer. This actually takes up a, no, I'm wrong again, it takes up a Jill scanner. Where is the weapon that takes up a normal scanner? I need to find it. Oh, this is really embarrassing, I don't know where it is. Is it a primary? I'm not sure anymore. Pretty sure there's a weapon that consumes a scanner. No, it's always Jill scanners. Okay, so you can go ahead and sell your normal scanner, I guess. I'm wrong. That's embarrassing. So you can go ahead and sell your regular scanner, and then what I want you guys to do is go and level up these new weapons. So we have the normal Bratton, the normal Lato, and the MK1 bow, and that's just going to get us more master rank XP. And the reason I tell you to do this here is because we're going to be going and getting these resources for the Karak, and by the time you get your Bratton to level 30, I would say it would take you a day. If you're playing this game like flat out, then it'll take you about a day to get this Bratton to level 30, and then once the Bratton's level 30, you can go ahead and sell it, and we can claim our Karak. So what I'm going to be showing you guys is how to get the resources for the Karak. So we need, or how to identify where you have to go. So we need alloy plates, polymer bundle, and salvage. You see, I actually already have these resources, and we also need neurodes. So I don't have the neurodes, which is the main thing that we're going to be, focusing on. So neurodes is the rarest out of all 4 of those ingredients that we need. The alloy plates are very common. Polymer is kind of common, and salvage you also see is very common, depending on how much you play on a certain planet, that is. So because we've been playing Apollodorus a lot, we're actually going to be getting a lot of salvage. So what you want to be looking at here on your nav map or your star chart, whatever, is the little materials that are at the bottom of each planet. So if we go around, we can see we can get polymer bundle and ferrite on Mercury. We can get polymer bundle, circuits, and alloy plates on Venus. We can get ferrite, rubido, and neurodes on Earth. So what you want to be focusing on is going to these planets and playing the endless missions that they have to offer and getting a lot of resources, surviving as long as possible, so you're gaining XP on top of gaining those resources. And what I want to be showing you guys today is actually a type of mission on Earth which I actually haven't got unlocked yet, which is kind of annoying. So a task for you guys is to complete all of these nodes on Earth till we get to the one known as, where is it, Lua? You can either go with Lua or you can go with this one here, Dark Sector Excavation Tikal. So if you complete these missions to get down to Lua, I'll show you guys gameplay of it. I'll put it on screen. But complete all the missions and you get down to Lua. Lua is an excavation mission, and I'll cut to some gameplay of that right now. Okay, so we're actually going to be playing the mission now, and I'm going to be showing you how to actually do it. It's kind of like survival missions. It has its rotation A, B, C, but it's based on the things that you dig up from the ground. So I'm going to be using my Excalibur just to, not confuse anyone who's trying to follow the guide by, me using a different frame. I'm going to be using Excalibur for this. And I am playing on my main account at the minute, so that's why I'm going to be dealing considerably more damage, just because I didn't have it unlocked on the beginner guide channel or account. So what I'm going to be doing, the main objective of this is to, you see this little ring here? This big ring? You're going to be following your minimap, the yellow marker in your minimap, and that'll take you to this big ring. Once you enter this ring, a big drill is going to come down, and your goal is to protect that drill until it's finished drilling. So you're going to be able to see the health that's displayed on the top left hand side, just below the minimap. If Lotus would move her big head, that would be nice. I hate the way it overlays like that, I don't know why it does that, but you see that it has power and it has excavation time. So the power and percentage, so say I have 30% in my power, equals 1 second on the drill. So what I have to do is kill the enemies, which has the battery packs on them, these here guys, which just dropped it, and then put that in, so just by walking it over. So what I suggest doing is killing 3 of those guys, picking up 3 battery cores, and putting them in. So that should be enough to completely power the drill, so you don't have to, bother with it after that. All you have to do is defend it from the enemies trying to run at it. And on top of this here, you're going to be getting rewards every time you dig up a item. As on top of that, you're going to be getting a resource known as cryotic, and you're going to be killing enemies which run at you, so you're getting the chance for resources and a lot of things like that. Resources, XP, mod drops, all that good stuff, as well as the rewards that you get from the mission. So you can have 2, I think you can have up to 3 of these active at the one time. I recommend only doing 1, but if you're confident enough, you can probably try it 2. Just make sure that they're close together, like this one is right now. It's actually really nice. So it goes in the same rotation. It's just like 1 drill equals 1 rotation. So these first 2 drills that I'm drilling up now will be rotation A, and then the next 2 will be rotations B and C, if you understand that there. And again, the drops are random. You can probably get like a drop table on the wiki showing you what excavations drop. I'll probably try researching into that there as well. And so we get this new resource called cryostasis, and that can be used to make decent weapons from a dojo that you can be entered into by a clan. But we'll get into that in a different video as well. Not something that you have to worry about. Just know that you have this. You have it saved up in your foundry, and you'll have it ready for whenever that time comes. So that's how we're going to be looking at this. We're kind of preparing for the future in a way with this as well, by getting the cryotic, because it lets us make pretty decent weapons. So what I'm trying to say with this here is play this mission on Earth, and you're going to be getting neurodes from the little yellow containers, hopefully. It is a fairly rare drop, okay? So organ cells, neurodes, neural sensors, they are rare drops, okay? So you're going to have to play a lot to actually get those, or kill a boss that drops them, and the boss on Earth isn't a very easy boss to kill, especially for the new player. So until you level up a bit, don't bother trying to fight the boss on Earth, because he will kind of wreck you. So I wouldn't bother. We got fusion cores there. That's actually pretty nice for leveling up our stuff, even though this is on my main account. So I'm probably just going to play this to rotation C, just so you guys get a feel for how to play it. So I'm going to be getting 3 cores each time, putting it into the drill, and then that'll fully power it, and then all I have to do is protect it. And what I recommend doing is trying to stay in Exalted Blade for as long as possible. But if you choose Vault or Mag, You can probably use Vault's Electric Shield and Overload to keep the enemies away from it. And you can use Mag's Pull and Crush to actually keep the enemies away from it as well. And as well as her Shield Polarize will actually restore its shields. And there's another tip I can give you guys. If you actually put a battery or a power core into it, it will restore its shield as well. So if I were to get a power core right now, it's actually regening. The shields do regen, and I think the health does also, so it's not too big of a problem with these really low level enemies. But the longer you stay, obviously the harder it's going to get. So we put in a power core and it gives us more shield back. And that's pretty much it. It's the gist of it. You can get these things called void keys from here as well. You can get those from survivals, you can get them from excavations, you can get them from defenses. So any mission on the star chart, you survive until about rotation B, so 15 minutes, 15 waves, or 3 excavators. You can get these things called void keys, and that'll let you enter the void. But again, that's another thing for another video, so just throwing it out there. That's how you unlock the void, if some of you were wondering, because I know some of you guys like to venture on in the beginner guide. But that's how you unlock the void. You get these keys, and then those keys will allow you to play a mission in the void. And you can actually get them by playing this mission. So like that there one, a T3 mobile defense. That's actually a pretty nice one. So yeah, that's the void key right there for you. So it's usually in rotation B or C that you get a void key. I will have guides up on my YouTube channel on how to get different void keys, pretty fast. So we're moving on to the last. Okay, last 2 excavators now. Saying they're too close together. I like it when they're close together. So we're gonna leave here with a total of 500 cryotic. That's nice. And still haven't got a neuro drop yet. So you see how kind of rare it is. You have to kind of constantly kill. I do recommend playing with 4 players. There is other things you can do to speed up the process, but those are more advanced sort of things, and they do take a little more time than liked, so just playing this and playing with friends, playing with random people even, it'll increase the spawn rate of the enemies so they'll get more resources, things like that. Oh look, we have 3 beside each other, that's nice. Warframe just wants this video to go on for longer, so it keeps giving me more. So you can see the locations of your current drills up on your minimap as well if you get lost. And they're also labeled, so if you have more than one up at one time, you can see the individual health on the left hand side of your screen. So pretty much it. Still no neuro drop. Still trying to reinforce how rare the neurods are. So this is the way that the game really gets you. You can obviously just pay for neurods to speed this whole process up, or you can pay for something that speeds the farming process up. Same with slots as well. You can buy more slots, but there is other ways to get platinum in the game rather than just buying it. Look, we got Hornet Strike. There's another way to get Hornet Strike if you haven't got it yet, because I know some people have trouble trying to get Hornet Strike and Apollodorus, so there's another way to get it. So obviously, I think Serration might actually drop here as well, which is pretty nice. There's spare parts. That's a nice mod as well for your Sentinel. I haven't got one of those yet. Don't be too worried about that. So you're going to get random mod cards, even for things that you don't have yet. Just because you don't have those things doesn't mean that the mod cards aren't useful to you. So you can still use the mod cards for things like fusion, or you can just keep them, or you can sell them. You can also use them in a thing called transmutation. It can be a hit or miss transmutation. It's basically you sacrifice 4 mods, usually of the same rarity, and it gives you a randomly generated mod based on the cards that you put in, or the mod cards that you put in. So what do we get? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finishing touch, melee mod. Okay, so we didn't get any neurods from this, as far as I can tell anyway. If you want to check what things you got, you can also pause the game, view mission progress. So we didn't get any neurods, but what you can do is just play this here for as long as possible, get as much XP as you can. I recommend staying for about 50. Oh look, we just got a neurod. Okay, that's nice. Okay, I recommend staying for about, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Usually in a survival, I'd stay for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's going to be around the same anyway. with your excavation, so stay around 15 to 20 minutes, and if you don't get anything, then leave, or like even if you do get something, just leave 15-20 minute mark and then replay the mission. And that's pretty much all the advice I can give for this mission type, really. So another tip that I forgot to mention in the last video where I did something like this is if you're playing a mission and you die or you run out of revives, you're not going to get any of the rewards after your like last death. So if you're dead whenever someone finishes a drill or it passes the 5-minute mark, you're not going to get any of those rewards. Also, if you're standing AFK, you're not going to get any rewards, so you have to do like a certain amount of damage before you can get any rewards. I'm pretty sure it's just like 1 damage is like the threshold mark, and then after that there, you're putting a timer to see how long, you know, you're AFK for, and if you're AFK for too long, you don't get any reward at the ending. So you can't really leech off people in this game, as well as you won't get any XP, so I don't recommend leeching at all. If you're not going to play the game, why even bother playing it in the first place? Why bother turning it on? That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much that. So we're going to go to exit, get our rewards, and then that's going to be it for the end of this video. So anyway guys, if you enjoyed that episode of Warframes Beginner's Guide, don't forget to hit that like button below and subscribe if you want more Warframe content from me.